Oh, well, welcome. Welcome, Instagram. Happy Friday. It's Friday by day. Let's go. Today I'm going to teach you something that you will never learn in school. And I'm going to teach you how to become a god. All right, let me pause right there. Right, that was a joke. I was just kidding about that. I do not have that capability. But what I am going to teach you is something that's pretty up there, right? I'm going to teach you how to become a genius, right? I'm going to teach you how to become a genius. And this is something that you will not find on YouTube. You will probably not find it anywhere else but right here. So let's see how much time we got. I got about 20 minutes. In these next 20 minutes, I'm going to take every second that it takes to teach you, how you can start right now becoming a genius. And I am not joking about this. All right? I have clear definitions that I'm going to lay out for you. This is serious stuff. Let's get right into it. All right? So let's clear up the myth real quick, right? I think, a lot of people think they went to college. They think they got this higher education. They think they're set. No, you're not set, right? I know some individuals, right? I've been able to meet a couple of geniuses in my life, but none of them, some of them never really went to college. Maybe they drove by universities, but they were geniuses, right? There's plenty of individuals, right? The Henry Fords, the Andrew Carnegies, right? These individuals didn't go to college, but they were geniuses, right? And then additionally, I've had college professors that had PhDs in mechanical engineering, right? Very smart intellectuals, very, very intelligent, but they were not geniuses. So we're going to get to the bottom of what does it take to be a genius. I'm telling you right now, it has nothing to do with formal education. Okay? And then additionally, right, this comes from Think and Grow Rich. The idea of becoming a genius comes from the one chapter, right? The mystery of sex transmutation, right? And yes, I feel a little bit uncomfortable using that word on Instagram Live, but this is important to talk about, and especially, right, for the master salesman, right? Yes, I'm going to be talking about, right, how to become a master salesman by using the same principles to becoming a genius, right? It all comes down to your state of mind, right? Your state of mind, right? Success is 95% mindset, 5% strategy. All right. So that's what I'm going to additionally be talking about, right? Becoming a master salesman. Okay. So let's get right into it. This is going to be quite an interesting conversation to have. All right. Anyways, how to become a genius. Let me define what a genius is. All right. I'm not going to write out the definition because that will take too long. Being a genius. I hope you guys can see that. Right? I'll define it as this, right? A genius is a man who has discovered how to increase the vibrations of thought to the point where he can freely communicate with sources of knowledge not available through the ordinary vibration rate of thought, or through the ordinary rate of vibration of thought, right? So let me repeat that, right? A genius is someone who has discovered how to increase the vibrations of thought to the point where he or she can freely communicate with sources of knowledge not available through the ordinary rate of vibration of thought. What does that mean? Basically, a genius is someone who knows how to step up their state of mind so that they can attract ideas that they could not attract on the baseline level of thinking. I want you to think about it like this, right? Imagine, right now, you got your current life going on, right? You can only see what you see now, right? You don't see, what's on the other side of success, right? You see all these problems and challenges. You can't see over them, let's just say, right? Now, imagine, right, you were to get into an airplane and start flying right above like 30,000 feet above the air, right? All of a sudden, your vision starts to open up, correct? Right? That's what I'm talking about when it comes to being a genius, right? You change your state of mind. Right? Maybe your baseline level of thinking is down here, but you elevate it so it's up here. All of a sudden, the vision becomes more clear, right? The vision becomes more clear. You can start getting ideas that you could not therefore attract before. So let's talk about some examples, right? Albert Einstein, absolute genius. Yes, maybe he did go to college. Maybe he studied physics, but he knew how to elevate his state of mind. And one of the ways that Albert Einstein would elevate his state of mind, where he would say thank you. He would use gratitude to elevate, just how his thinking was. Right? It comes down to there's certain ways for you to elevate your thinking, and there's actually like 10 major mind stimuli that I'll mention right here. But a lot of people will, let's say this, right? They'll do, drinking, alcohol, they'll do drugs so that they can change their state of mind. Yet these have negative effects, right? There's also natural ways for you to change your state of mind so that it's actually, better for your health, better for you over the long run, right? And you master, just how to elevate your state of mind, right? You can become a genius. Okay? So let's get right into it, right? This is weird, but at the top of the list, right? Let me pause, right? Before I talk about the 10 mind stimuli, let me talk about what is a state of mind, right? What is a state of mind? All right, we're going to talk about this right here. State. Hope you can see that. All right. A state of mind is what it is, right? Think about chemistry class, right? When you would, mix a bunch of chemicals, right? What would it do? It would change the state. It would change the molecular structure, right? That's what I'm talking about here, right? In your brain is different chemicals. When different things arise, right? There's different chemicals mixing in your brain, right? You're changing your state. It's literally chemicals. And the fact of the matter is, right? Your emotions, right? The emotions that you experience, right? Like maybe they're negative emotions like anger, hate, jealousy, etc. Those are negative states of mind. Okay. So your emotions are different states of mind. Right. So one of the big ideas in Think and Grow Rich, and just a life idea in general, is focusing on habitually having positive emotions, right? And I've been talking about a lot of the principles, right? The emotion of desire, right? That is an emotion and a state of mind, right? The emotion of faith, right? Faith is an emotion, and faith is also a state of mind. Napoleon Hill says faith is a state of mind which may be induced by auto-suggestion. Right, so these are all different states of mind. Right, so it all comes down to this idea right here. Right, how do you change your state of mind effectively so that you become a genius? Right, a lot of the principles that I've been talking about in Think and Grow Rich, right, they're essentially, right, Napoleon Hill says it this way, right, they're essentially different mind stimuli. Right, they're natural mind stimuli that's going to elevate your thinking. Right, and if you elevate your thinking, you can all of a sudden start solving problems that you could not solve before, right? What is it? Einstein says this one quote, right? The problems that are created with the mind of man cannot be created by that same level of thinking, right? If your problems are here, you got to elevate your thinking up here, right? That's how you find the solutions to your problem. So when I talk about, these different principles, what I'm essentially doing is talking about, right? How do you elevate your thinking so that, let's face it, right? You're going to experience problems, right? All business people, all successful people still have problems, right? At the end of the day, it's not that I don't want problems. I just want better quality problems, right? I want better quality problems, right? A lot of the people that have low level of thinking, they have low problems. Oh, what am I going to do for dinner today? What am I going to do? When am I going to do the laundry, right? They have low level problems. No, I want bigger problems, right? How am I going to afford this hotel, right? How am I going to afford this real estate, right? Bigger level problems require bigger level thinking, which require you to start elevating your state of mind, right? So when I'm talking about, becoming a genius, I'm talking about, really, honing in on how do I elevate my level of thinking, okay? Now, the truth is, right, there's different mind stimuli, and I think a big thing that a lot of people do when it comes to, changing their state of mind is they'll start smoking weed, they'll start drinking, right? They'll start, doing these things just because they don't like their current state, right? And those, they'll get the job done, right? You'll change your state of mind, but in the long run, that's going to, deteriorate your health, right? It's not going to be good for you, right? So there's better ways of doing it. right? And one of those ways is, having a burning desire, right? A burning desire for, financial gain, for fame or power, etc. Right? Another way is music. We also got friendship. Number 6 is even the mastermind alliance, right? You can actually use a mastermind alliance to elevate your state of mind, right? When you have a definite purpose and you're communicating with a mastermind group, right? All of a sudden, right, those individuals, right, you can elevate your thinking, right? What's that saying, right? A rising tide raises all ships, right? When you start masterminding with people because you got the end goal in mind, right? All of a sudden, your thinking's gonna arise. Okay, so and then additionally, right, in another way is love, and then at the top of the list, right, this is going to be awkward, but at the top of the list is the desire for sex expression. Okay, and what I mean by that is this, right? When I'm talking about that, right, I'm not talking about the physical. I'm talking about really taking the creative energy that you have so that you can elevate your level of thinking so that you can actually use it for a more positive way, right? What if I can use, the creative energy in me to transmute that towards a definite goal, towards my definite purpose, right? So that's it. That's what I'm going to segue into now. And I'm going to at least talk about it from being a master salesman's perspective, right? Because, the master salesman, they actually did a study that highly sexed men are the most efficient salesmen, right? And the idea is this, right? It comes down to having that personal magnetism, right? And that is nothing more or less than sex energy, right? If you were a sales manager, right, you're going to not hire someone, oh, maybe they're that smart, right? It doesn't matter, right? You can't teach sales in school, right? School doesn't teach that. It doesn't matter what grades you have. That doesn't dictate whether you're a great salesman or not. But it comes down to having that personal magnetism. That's the most important, right? And, Jordan Belfort talks about it himself, right? When he talks about, straight line selling, right? He talks about 3 main things, right? Enthusiastic as hell, sharp as a tack, enthusiastic as hell, an expert in your field, and a figure of authority, right? So let's focus on that first one, right? Being enthusiastic as hell, right? It really comes down to the idea of using this principle in a certain way so that you can hear the enthusiasm transferred in your voice, right? Zig Ziglar says it himself, right? All sales is the transference of enthusiasm, right? When you can hear the enthusiasm in someone else's voice, it's just natural, right? You wanna buy with the individual who is super enthusiastic about what they have to sell, right? And that's what it comes down to. So enthusiasm is absolutely key, right? You're not gonna buy a product from someone who is dull, who is flat and monotone, right? You can hear it in the individual's voice if they have this personal magnetism, right? And it's super special, right? That is what makes the best salesman the best salesman. Okay? Now, I talked about, the tone of voice, right? You can even when you handshake a person, right? Even when you shake somebody's hand, right? You can feel that they just got it, that they have that special stuff, right? They have this magnetism to them that you want to do business with them, right? When we're talking about, doing business with people like and trust, right? You're just naturally attracted to people that have this magnetism to them, right? I don't have a much better word than the word magnetism, but it's just the best word out there, right? You want to become a magnetic individual, right? The way that you carry yourself, right? How do you carry yourself? Do you carry yourself with a good posture, or are you slouched over, right? If you're knocking on doors, right? Are you, looking at them with like your pitch, but you're like super excited about it, or are you looking down, right? Because there was a lot of times, when I didn't understand this, and I would, knock on some doors and be like, you wouldn't want to buy from me, would you? Right? Of course they don't want to buy from you if you are just speaking like that, right? People want to listen to people that just got it in them, right? And this is something that you will never hear out there besides right here, right? And when I'm talking about, right, this is a state of mind. And like all states of mind, it can be cultivated, right? You can develop the state of mind of being a magnetic individual, right? Everything in your life is going to change when you mix this principle with you. All right? So that's what I wanted to talk about today, right? How do you become a genius, right? It's this principle, right, called the mystery of sex transmutation of, not just focusing on chasing the girls of, the physical desire for sex, but actually using that towards a creative end, using that same energy, right? When you can mix that same energy in you towards a definite purpose, right? That's why you're going to become way more, you're going to achieve way more. Right, it's that special sauce, right? That secret sauce that you mix with everything you do, right? Wallace E. Waddle says it himself. It's not about doing certain things. It's about doing things in a certain way, right? It comes down, right? Do you have the ability to mix, this creative energy towards the definite goal, right? That's why, that's the secret, right? There's Napoleon Hill says no fewer than 100 times has the secret been revealed on these pages, right? This is absolutely such a serious chapter to understand, right? It is an absolute sleeper. And don't let the word sex get in the way, right? This is absolutely going to change your life forever when you start to master this principle. Okay? So that's the conversation today. I talked about a couple of things, right? How to become a genius and how to use, creative energy to show it in your voice, to show it in your personal magnetism, right? Because, I think it's Dr. Joe Dispenza that says your personality will create your personal reality. Okay. And your personality, right? How do you have a more magnetic, attracting personality? But you got to start mixing the creative energy with it. All right. So thank you all for watching. That's the conversation today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I made some good sense. And with that being said, until we meet again in time and space, bye everybody for now.